Hello everybody and welcome back to Stellaris, where last episode we ended the kind of poorly declared war that the Ganlarev Star Corp declared on us, but we have a lot of deferred issues here. Specifically, a big one, energy credits. We absolutely need to handle that. That'll buy us a little time selling off some minerals, but we definitely need to do something about that. We've got a generator world here on Rankshan, and we can certainly upgrade to a Hive Nexus. We can't get any additional generator districts on Rankshan at this moment, but for now that'll do. We should probably consider building a mining district on Nashira Prime. On our Forge world here, it would be like tile blocker clearances. Sure, I guess that's okay. We can work on that. This is a tech world over here on Bayam Prime, and this is, of course, where our Faculty of Archaea Studies is. So we are going to put in a Hive District here. That'll solve the problems there for the moment. Zandabon has much bigger problems, of course. We're sending these guys down over here. We're highly expecting that we do not get here in time to do anything at all about this asteroid. That's not shocking in the slightest. Soteria Prime is a tech world, and so that means that we put in a Hive District here. That'll be fine. And I'd like this science ship to be doing everything except archaeological sites right now. Actually, it should really be coming over to this debris. That is timed. So we're going to go grab that. That'll be okay. Perfect. Active scans of Firin Malba 1 have picked up what appears to be a large ship deep inside the atmosphere of the gas giant. Judging by the nearby debris, there have been several failed attempts to salvage this derelict in the past. Any ship strong enough to withstand such crushing gravity must be a magnificent prize, and Science Officer Oberkoid has proposed a salvage project of our own. I kind of like the influence here. Perfect. We'll take the influence. That'll be fine. So we're currently building a starbase out here. We're building a starbase in Shatib as well. Yep, that sounds fine. So we're going to head to Chelub after we're done out over here in Shatib. So that all looks good. The Otharians rivaled us. So that's these guys here? Yeah, we could definitely rival them. They're pathetic to us. I wonder, well, that's stale information. I wonder if they'll continue to be pathetic to us as we cap out our fleets here, which we're kind of close to doing, actually. We're going to work here on getting these 2 destroyers on the attack swarm, or actually the Mortson Row attack swarm. We have multiple attack swarms, and that's okay. We're going to get a couple of corvettes for our other attack swarm, and we're, of course, I really think we're not going to get down here to Tiblik in time. We are going to get both of these forces. Unable to build a starbase in Shelub? Oh, probably because we didn't have the alloys. We do now. So if we do it now, that should be good. Okay, so that's absolutely fine. I want to grab our 2 primary military fleets and take them both over to Zandabon. We're going to bombard at Zandabon Prime. Cool. So we're continuing to drop down the Crystalline Vein, but it's slow going with just these 3 ships here. That's fine. The Varan Commonality rivaled us as well. So that's these guys up here. Okay. We cannot declare rivalry on them. We can only have 3 at a time. We do get some pop growth speed, which is nice. We'll grab habitability for our next tech. Looks absolutely great. So we need to get Zandabon back under our control, right? That's a very, very high priority here. I also think that we should get a 3rd construction ship at this time. So I want to grab our starbase here. And we're going to queue up a construction ship here. And we'll prioritize that for the time being. That'll be fine. We are going to get our critical resource shortage dealt with soon enough. The energy credit situation, it's still not great. We haven't, strictly speaking, solved it over here, but we're working on it. Okay, the asteroid has indeed impacted Tiblik 4. As predicted, the asteroid heading for Tiblik 4 has impacted the planet's surface, causing irreparable damage to its ecosystem. The scientists in our observation post could only watch in silence, as the majority of the pre-FTL civilization they had been studying was snuffed out of existence far below. So they regressed back to the Stone Age. But it was not our place to interfere. We didn't have the resources to interfere specifically. We also did get rare crystal mining, which is good. And what are we going to go for here? Habitability? Actually, yeah, habitability is really good for us. We'll happily take that. So that's great. I mean, we can see that this tundra world is currently 50%, so in theory that would go up to 60. Many wondrous things pass through our hands, yet we never line our pockets. It is a sacrifice we make so that the construction of the Tessar Tarvel is completed, and our children may one day see the Holy Land again. What do you got? A unique potential not currently being realized. Event can be opened to its sacred core. So on Nashira Prime, this world here, which is currently a relatively maxed out agriculture world, they're offering for 200 minerals, which is tiny, to give us 3 additional generator districts and 2 regular districts. That's actually really good. We accept that. That's great. Yeah, that's really, really good. So that's excellent. We are, of course, going to go on to automated survey, but I don't want to have multiple ships coming up over here, really. So to that end, it's fine, I think. Like, really, it's fine. There's not that much more to survey out here. So we're going to send the ISF Zofjov 2 down over this direction to start filling in these gaps. This construction ship is not doing anything at this moment. We're going to grab Asland. So that'll be great. Anything else that we really need to work on? The answer is not immediately, although we should probably be continuing to work on our attack swarms. And also we can increase the size of our attack swarms pretty dramatically, up to 80. That would mean 160, so it would be over naval cap. But that's maybe an interesting thing to do. Now, we know that we need to add cruisers to them, right? And we should probably consider also, let's trash this for the moment. We should consider not auto-upgrading this and not auto-generating the design at all. So let's save this for now. And what do we want our cruiser to do? Well, our cruiser is going to be sitting back at line or even artillery range. We could go for artillery cruisers. It's an interesting option for sure. And then we could go for like a broadside stern. So we would end up going for large size Ripper autocannons would be what range? 40? So it'd probably end up being railguns. And then medium-sized X-ray lasers have a range of 0 to 60. So the railguns are going to be definitely the most effective weapon that we have here. This is not ideal under any circumstances, and we'll likely change this up later on. So let's get all of these in here. Let's get our plasteel armor set up. Let's grab... Okay, we're going to need quite a lot of power. We're lacking a lot of power for this thing. We only have fission reactors. That's not great. We're going to have to, for the moment, drop some deflectors. This is incredibly non-ideal. We'll do it for now. We're going to have to revisit this. So we'll add in cruisers to both of these. And we want like 6 of them for the moment. We'll rebalance this in a moment, but 6, we could go to like 7, and then 13, and 26. That actually kinda works. Kinda. It'll need additional work. But yeah, I mean, all of this is a work in progress, right? So that seems kinda okay. It's going to cost a lot, 10,000 alloys. But I mean, we kind of expect that. So yeah, that seems okay. We do have a leader trait here. Monthly influence, plus 0.5. That's a lot of influence. Keep in mind, until we become a crisis aspirant, we're going to need to utilize claims to expand. So that's definitely a bit of an issue for us. Let's move out into Orville. That'll be okay. And we're arriving at Zandabon with our other fleets now. So we're resuming our full-bore bombardment here. We haven't resumed it. Actually, we're resuming it now. And yeah, we can see just how much faster that starts going down. Magnificent. So that's great. What is less great is our current energy credit situation. That is substantially less great. This construction ship is not doing anything right now in Chelop. We can't head out over here due to the mining core, and we will get those cleared out. For the time being, we're going to go grab the Tunari Vortex. Actually, we're going to grab Acelius first. That'll be fine. Cool.
Our construction is
So there's Orville under our control. We're going to go grab Rayma. We see that Zimtari is a pretty decent goal system for us here. And then, like, Tiana Vec would be a good one. We'll see if we manage to get all of this. That'll be interesting. Our construction ships are going to be moving a fair amount other than this one, so it might be a viable thing. Okay, we just built a starbase down here in Suya. We're going to grab Mira. And all of these energy credits here will help out our energy credit situation. But our energy credit situation is currently mildly dire. No doubt about that. Influence from power projection or sublight speed. That's a hard call. Later on, sublight speed will not be as important. I'm going to grab the influence from power projection for right now. It might be a mistake, but I believe that that is a hard call. Army damage plus 10% is nice. So we're going to head out into Ogma right now. There we go. And we are expanding up this way very, very quickly. We're hoping to cut these guys off at Zimtari, Borbagon, Tiana Vec. That's the idea. And then that will define our final borders. Final, quote unquote. So that would be the idea here. That all looks good. We do have a lack of housing on Nishira Prime. Now, this is the world that just had energy credits added to it, right? So for the moment, I'm going to toss in an energy grid here and a generator district. That will help offset our energy credits here once we get jobs in those pretty significantly. So that's good. We've got a mining world down here, and we'll deal with this in a moment. We've got a mining world here. We can definitely handle that. And Bayam Prime, the tech world here, is needing a tile blocker clearance and max mining districts or +6. Wow. Okay, generator districts as well. Crystal mines though, we're gonna get that going for the time being. The settlements on Tiblik 4 have been experiencing agricultural difficulties. Recent crop failures could lead to conflicts over food. This is a critical moment in the development of a young society. Whether they choose to come together in their time of need or to turn against each other, their decisions now will have a strong bearing on who they ultimately become. Unfortunately, no matter which course is taken, they're entering a period of extreme hardship. Indeed they are. We will show some restraint, and that'll be fine. So we need this construction ship to head into Jinkath. That'll be fine. We're just filling in gaps back here at this point. So that's all great. We've got this kind of noodly appendage going out over here. I love it. Now, over here in Chelop, we should probably colonize this. It's only 50% habitability, but that will change soon to 60%. And we're going to continue to work on that. So Ogma is going to be under our control. Looks like we're probably going to get Zimtori as well. And that's great. We're very happy about that. This Forge World needs a Hive Nexus upgrade. That is certainly something we'll do. And over here in Ocelis, that is done. We're going to head up to the Tunari Vortex now.
We have surveyed the system.
Intel falling on the Star Corp? Yeah, that's to be expected. I'm really not concerned about that. We're 41% devastation over here on Zandabon Prime now, so that looks good. The material composition of this asteroid differs significantly from its neighbors. It likely has a different origin than the other bodies of this asteroid belt and should be investigated more closely, and indeed we shall. So on our capital, we're lacking in a job. Now, this is currently set up as a tech world, and I like that. I want it to be a tech world. But we have 2 generator districts here right now. We have a pretty big issue with our energy credits. We're going to put in an energy grid. We will likely change that later. This is set up as a generator world as well. I like it. Energy grid and generator district. Here we go. Not in that order. We should do generator district first because we're lacking housing there. So that'll be fine. Nishira Prime is still working on this. Okay, that looks good. Although it's difficult to accept, all indications point towards asteroid TLDR-044 being a coprolite, a piece of fossilized feces from some kind of massive life form. It appears to be almost 1 billion years old, and much of the fossil's original organic composition has been replaced by mineral deposits. Scientists are baffled as to what kind of creature could have produced something like this. Well, we'll get some society research out of that.
Our construction
So
is
that's
complete.
So that's Centauri under our control. We can't actually come up and grab the stuff up in this constellation right now. This science ship is actually stuck, which is mildly awkward for us. For now, we're of course going to head down to Seafor. We need to get down to Tianavek, right? I would prefer to be at Amajo for defensive purposes, but for now, this is reasonably fine.
We have cleared a blocker.
Yeah, and this science ship can't really do anything up here. We're going to disband it. There we go. So that's all looking good. This construction ship isn't doing anything. Oh, the new Mystic Order is here. Okay, show us your wares. What do you got? Oh, they want to do this again? Oh, we can't do this because we've already purchased the product. They're offering it to us again. Okay, we can't actually do that.
Technology
That's sad.
conceived.
Well, there's that habitability coming up, so we can see here that's still 50%. That's interesting. Why is this still 50%? Because we're below the species' minimum habitability, which is 50%. So 20 plus 5 plus 5 plus 5, 35%. So we've got a ways to go before this starts going up. Gotcha. That's fine. No problem there. We could certainly grab something. We really need more power production. That's in physics research. So for the moment, we're going to grab Durasteel armor here. It's not preferable. We do, of course, need to continue to work on reinforcing this fleet, and so we shall. Our starbase in the Far Eye system reports that the Winds of Fortune fleet has evacuated and abandoned a decrepit ship, now in unstable orbit around the system's central star. So we could search it, or we could just let the sun swallow it, and that's exactly what we're
Our
going to do.
construction is complete.
Now, we're going to run out of energy credits soon. Let's sell off 5,000 minerals to buy us some more time there. We definitely have some irons in the fire on that one, but it's going to take a little bit. We can get a couple more construction ships going here, and we're going to do exactly that. More surveys finishing is always
Our
good, and the
construction is
question is,
complete.
when are we going to be done in Zandabon Prime? Well, the devastation here is currently below 50%. Once it goes up above 50%, the Crystalline Bane will start taking a lot more damage. That's interesting. We're seeing different numbers here, 11,562 and 11k. That could be a rounding thing, right? But then we look here, and we see that the 11k is the maximum health of this thing, and it's currently at 7343. Huh. Well, regardless, that's not all that relevant, I suppose. The inhabitants of Tiblik 4 have enhanced their agricultural skills through experimentation with nutrient-rich fertilizers. Their harvests are yielding higher quality produce, and the health of their society is improving. Given their rudimentary technology, this advancement in food production is remarkable. Obtaining a sample of the fertilizer should allow us to replicate the achievement on a wider scale. And that's great, do it. So we'll gain progress towards our next insight, and yeah, this is dropping pretty quickly now. Ah, curators. Okay, so we're going to need to sell off some things to be able to afford the curators again. That's fine. We should probably sell off basically all of these rare resources for the time being. Like that. Just to have enough to keep us afloat with energy credits. It's now 5,000. So we'll purchase that for sure. And this construction ship requires orders. We'll head off over to Dur. 12 energy credits there. That's not bad. So we'll definitely grab that. We are a little behind on getting all of these stations built, but it's actually keeping up reasonably well. We've made first contact with mysterious aliens in the Kajubis system. Okay, so they're the Ro aliens. We will certainly take a look at that. Excellent. And we got Hyperdrive 3. Good. So, unfortunately, none of these are ship power. That's very sad. I guess we'll grab moat harvesting traps. Sure, why not? So this construction ship here, of course, we need to grab Tianavek, although we're lacking the influence for it. I wasn't expecting that right now, but I'm not shocked.
Available.
I'm not shocked about that one. We do have a new council agenda available here. No, we don't. That is a lie. Okay. Fantastic. Good to know.
Technology
It's also very
conceived.
good to know that we don't
Our
need construction.
construction is complete.
It's so good. We're very happy about that. Terraforming. Terraforming seems decent.
We're
Okay,
planning
so
a new
next up we're going to grab potentially empire size reduction. That will actually help our research a decent amount. It's already reduced by 25% due to hive mind, which is nice. We'll grab that for now. Cool. So that's definitely a small improvement. Not huge, to be sure, but it is a small improvement. We'll upgrade our Hive Nexus on Nashira Prime. Looks good. And we'll continue to reinforce our fleets. That was about 10% of what we need there, so that's great. We'll grab Tiana Vec, and we should probably consider disbanding this construction ship. We clearly don't make enough to sustain 3 construction ships, and that's fine. We don't need to. So for the moment, 2 should be more than sufficient. This aggro world here, okay, we made first contact with the Row aliens again. We have 2 Row aliens. Okay, perfect. That's not confusing at all. I love it. So we're now positive in our energy credits. What do we want on this aggro world? I think it's another generator district, to be honest. We're maxed out on our agriculture for the time being there, and that sounds fine. The irregularity we had designated as Row aliens appears to be made of some sort of crystalline material. Curiously, it seems to be able to propel itself across the void and protect itself when necessary, indicating that it may be alive. Our research drones are working hard to find out more. Well, we definitely need to keep at it. And I also think that we don't have enough Forge Worlds right now. We might want to transition this into being a Forge World. We've got a little bit of energy on it right now, and I'm okay with that for the moment, but we'll get that swapped over. We do need to grab a couple of locations here. So, really moving down... Well, we're not in a rush. Yeah, we're not in a rush at this point.
We sense spaceborne life.
So this is all fine. Beautiful. We've now found beings far surpassing anything encountered in our Empire's spacefaring history. Life capable of growing to an unprecedented scale, rivaling moons in size and mass. Nothing could have prepared us for this. This day will forever mark a turning point in the story of the Stinger entity. Let us hope we survive long enough to tell it. I have no idea where this is. I clicked on the go to button and nothing happened. Okay. Now our council agenda is ready. And what do we want to go for here? Colony? Sure, why not? We'll do that for now. On our Hive capital, we are currently lacking in housing and unemployment. Again, this is intended to be a research planet, so a Hive district does make sense for that. Okay, sounds good. Although their dwellings on habitat stations would suggest an advanced society, diplomatic drone Kel-Rail is unsure whether we are indeed dealing with an intelligent life form. They seem unremittingly hostile, so much so that a stable society seems almost unthinkable. Even during our brief period of investigation, we've observed several displays of pure barbarism. They seem to have a language, but our language drones are still working on deciphering it so we can make sense of this display. Okay, they sound like marauders. Fantastic. So we're going to grab this down over here. Cool. How are we doing on our bombardment?
Technology conceived.
Well, we did just get moat harvesting traps. Okay, that's good. Fusion reactors or hyper relays? I feel like we have to go for hyper relays. It's a rare tech, and it's a very useful rare tech. We're going to run out of places to construct soon. And surely we're going to see the... We're going to see fusion power again, right? Surely. Right? I hope so. So we do need to continue to get our ships going here. We need about 7,300 to max those out. And actually, new ships here, I'm actually going to just straight up disband them. We're going to be running into naval cap very soon, and that's fine. These guys are declaring rivalry again. They already did.
Our construction is complete.
Our research drones have finished investigating the reports of extraordinary free-floating crystal-like objects observed in the Stinger entity system. Their findings are startling. The ship-size objects and their slightly smaller but equally crystal-like satellites at first appeared inert, but sudden shifts in their orientation relative to our ships and new energy signals emerging from within the prisms indicate that they should be regarded as hazardous and approached with caution. We can either attempt to engage with the potentially dangerous objects directly, or establish remote surveillance and observe them from a safe distance. Okay, cool. So we gained some influence off of that, which is always nice. And we also got a situation to research here. And we can actually do a couple of these, so we might want to actually do that. It is now time to put a cut in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. And next episode, we're going to finish up our bombardment on Zandaban. That's definitely going to happen next episode, I think, at this rate. Hopefully. They're now... Okay, it's above 75% that they take double damage. Got it. We'll get there soon, though. We'll get there soon. And we'll also fill this all in, start taking out these guys, and start building hyper relays. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and a very special thank you to all of the channel members for making this video possible, including ALS Gamer, Shadow Wolf, Andy McGar, Spartan News, Nick Smarty, Dimitri H, Punching the Microphone, Soccerman12 UK, I apologize, Kentogan, and all the rest. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below the video, and as always, I will see you all next time.